Hello guys, welcome back to What If Gohan Never Stopped Training, Part 7, I think. Anyway, today we are going to start on one of the movies. Now, let me say this before I start. Yes, I know Wrath of the Dragon came after Fusion Reborn, but for sake and purposes of this story, it's reversed. Sorry about that. Anyway, most of the movie goes basically as planned, except for Gohan is not around at the time because he's off with the Supreme Kai and is doing this and that because he's, pretty much his helper at this point. But things doesn't change until Piccolo actually sends a psychic shout at Gohan wherever he is on the world of the Kais, because they leave a open link between the two, so just in case anything does happen now. And Piccolo actually says that they really need his help. Gohan is actually puzzled by this because, well, what do you really need my help for? Piccolo says, well, there's a giant cockroach demon dragon thing attacking the city right now. This actually makes more questions in Gohan than actual answers. But Gohan shows up and he looks around and he sees Piccolo actually trying to fight this thing, doing an absolutely awful job. Now, let me say this, Hirugan has now transformed into his second form, so that's completely out of the way. Gohan sees Piccolo get knocked down out of the air, and before Piccolo can crash, Gohan catches him. He looks around and sees Goten, Trunks, the other Z fighters. Of course, Goku and Vegeta are not there because they are both dead at this point in time. Gohan looks at this thing and says, okay, I think that's about enough. He begins to fight it, but he is stopped when a person that looks exactly like a Kai shows up in front of him. Gohan is actually stopped in his tracks by this person because just catch by surprise. And of course, this is Tapion that stopped Goku. Tapion actually tells him that it's no good. The only way that you can actually beat him is if I'm able to trap him with this flute or cut him with this sword here. Gohan says, okay, well, how about I stall him while you trying to, trap him with the flute. Gohan pretty much rushes off and tries and actually fights Rugon. Now, Gohan is caught off by surprise by the actual power of this thing. Because if you remember in canon, or not in canon, but in the movie, Hirugan defeated Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Gotenks in their Super Saiyan 3 form, and Mystic Gohan. That is 3 people on the Super Saiyan 3 level, and wherever Vegeta was at this point in time, whatever. Which, by the way, it's BS how Goku was able to beat Hirugan with the Dragon Fist, but I'm not going to count any of that. So, Gohan is actually being pushed a little bit to the edge here, and he is still giving out until Gohan says, okay, well, that's enough of this. He actually powers up a little bit further, doubling his strength, because while Hirugan was able to do all that, Gohan was at Super Saiyan 3 level in his Super Saiyan 2 state. Then he had a times 4 from Super Saiyan 3, then a times 10 from... Well, you see where I'm going with this. Gohan blasts this thing, completely vaporizing him. Gohan looks over at Tapion, who was trying to seal it with the flute, but it wasn't working anymore because apparently Hirugan actually damaged it. Before Gohan could do say anything to Tapion, Hirugan actually materializes above the guy and actually spears him right through his gut with one of his claws. Gohan is actually shocked by this because he thought that he killed this thing. That, you might not be able to kill it, but I pretty much vaporized it. How is it still living? Hirugan, falls off, or Hirugan actually throws Tapion away and turns his attention back to Gohan. And, well, at least where Gohan was standing. Gohan is actually not standing there anymore, and he actually instant movement to where Tapion was going to land. With Tapion's last words says, "The flute is not working. The only chance that you have now is this sword." Gohan takes the sword. He looks at it and is actually shocked because it is the same sword that future Trunks was using against the androids, which pops up more questions. And also me too, considering if all this stuff actually did happen in, future Trunks' timeline, supposedly. But anyway, Gohan uses the sword, and while it's true, he powers up even further. Now, Hirugan's no longer really a challenge at this point, because he's putting out, I would say, probably about twice as much energy as Hirugan was, and he's just, slicing and dicing him with the sword, and it's cutting him through, but it's not actually killing him. Gohan's like, well, why is it that this thing is not, dying from this sword? Hirugan actually attacks him. Gohan, in reflex, actually puts energy through the sword to cancel the beam that, Hirugan just sent at him. And he knows that it completely vaporized the energy that he was being sent. So, Gohan actually uses that to his advantage to kill Hirugan. Now, how does he actually do it? Well, slice and dice, cuts him in half, whatever floats your boat. But after the fight, he goes to where Tapion landed, sees Trunks with Sensu Bean, and, trying to get, healing, give it to Tapion. Gohan hands Tapion back his sword. Tapion says, "Thanks, but I don't know what to do now." Gohan is like, "Well, what do you mean? I was holding that monster within me for years, and now it's finally gone." Gohan says, "Well, now you can do whatever you want, I guess." And after that, you have the whole entire sappy end, and Tapion gives his sword, to Trunks and what have you. But there is something else. Something else is happening in the underworld. Most notably, there is actually two frogs. Two magical frogs, as we know as Bibbidi and Bobbidi. Somehow they were able to slip their captors that's supposed to hold them in the underworld, and has actually went off to try and find the remains of Majin Buu. Now, when they actually do find him, it turns out that King Emma actually put Majin Buu's soul into a soul splitter. Not the soul purifier, but the soul splitter, so it will actually separate the previous Kais from his soul, and Demigra from his soul as well. So they actually blow up the machine. It turns out that Majin Buu has already lost, Majin Buu already lost the Kai's energy, but him and Demigra, I can't talk right now. Demigra is actually still sort of fused together, but they are, starting to be split apart. But as soon as Bibbidi and Bobbidi was about to do something, Majin Buu's form actually starts to circle around Demigra and turns it into kind of like, big egg. Bibbidi and Bobbidi are a little shocked because this is pretty much the same thing that he did when, Bibbidi was first killed. So they figured that, well, they need energy to revive him. They feel a huge amount of energy enter the underworld. Apparently, King Emma didn't actually judge something and just simply sent it on down to be chained up. They quickly rushes over to it and they find Hirudegarn. Well, what is left of, his soul. They watch the demons or the Oni try and restrain this thing with the magical Emma locks and all that to try and to make sure that it doesn't escape. Bibbidi and Bobbidi cast a spell to put the Oni underneath their controls, the same thing that they did to escape, and they steal Hirudegarn. Now it's kind of obvious what they're going to do with Hirudegarn, because since this egg needs power. And with that, we are going to stop this story because I don't want it to get too long. It's already 11 minutes. I can go on for another 4, but I like to keep my videos short so I can upload them as fast as I can. But anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed it. Stay tuned because the next one will kind of surprise you with a fight, and Gohan will be in the fight of his life. So will Goku and Vegeta. So, stay tuned, all that. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell in the corner, and give me some reviews. Give me some feedback. If you have any ideas about fanfics you want me to read, any type of show you would want me to review. I already got something in mind for reviews, but please tell me what you think. And have a good day. Bye.